we have some professionals here, not just a person with a poem. We're talking about professionals, not just in the poetry industry, but in their own industries as well, as far as their corporate spaces. And so I want to allow them to introduce themselves, because I would not do them justice because of the information that they have. And so I'm going to pass the mic over. They're going to preface their poems with who they are, their background, but also their spoken word poems. Is that all right? Awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited for you all to witness this.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is StephMarie. My stage name is StephMarie Cole. I am a 4-time author, poet, public speaker. I do mentorship for artists. I help them to monetize their passion. I'm also a mental health advocate. I have my own personal story of being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. And what I did to get professional help, I got spiritual help, because I realized I couldn't do it myself. And I believe that anything that manifests physically is also spiritual. And also I was intentional about resetting the environment of my mind. So now I use my story to empower others, to let them know that there is another side to mental wellness, that you can have a healthier mind. I use poetry to share my story and do workshops. Also do workshops in business. Some of you don't know this, but poetry helps with productivity. It helps to reduce stress and burnout. It helps to boost innovation. So arts and business is a real thing, and it can actually help your employees. Also do workshops for children as well in schools for pursuit of purpose, growth and fixed mindsets, and also like debates. So I do a variety of different things. And I'm going to share a poem with you today. And the good thing about poetry is that you can do anything, you can be anyone, right? And so I specialize in writing customized poems for special events and organizations such as American Heart Association, which I'm so happy that I'm here to do today. And so this story is a mixture of personal experiences and other experiences I had to draw from. Is that cool?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So y'all need to sing with me. Clap your hands like this. Whether you're a mother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking and we're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Fact. The rhythm of this song is traditionally used to help set the rate of chest compressions and CPR at 103 beats per minute. Who knew that the beat of this song would be my father's new lifeline? A second chance in time to sing again, live again, dance again. I remember when John Travolta strutted down that street, watching Saturday Night Fever with my pops. My dad's head would start to bop, his feet would begin to move, and we would dance to the funky groove. We magically transported to the 70s, mimicking his walk, laughing nonstop. We were staying alive. And when Travolta hit that dance floor at night, we were in the club with him with those disco lights. My dad would look at me with that crooked smile and sing, "You should be dancing, yeah." So when I went to school, I had the Bee Gees on my mind. I would strut down that hallway like it was mine. I had the confidence of Travolta with the joy of my dad inside. I was one being groovy, meant to shine. I was staying alive. Then one day, the music stopped. A student at my school collapsed in front of me. My heart dropped. Fact. Over 23,000 children experience cardiac arrest. Outside of the hospital, only 10% of them survive. Suddenly, I didn't feel so alive. See, she didn't make it. And I didn't feel so groovy. I didn't have that John Travolta strut in me, that confidence that I could do anything. And see, I tried everything. I called for help. I tried to wake her up. I followed my gut, but it wasn't enough. By the time the ambulance came, it was too late. She had passed away, and I was tied to her fate. I was not prepared, and neither was my school. And at that moment, I didn't care about being cool. What if this happened again? How could I live with myself if I didn't take action? So I did. I took it upon myself to be CPR certified. Now, I wanted others to stay alive. And can you believe that when I was training, they taught me to sing the song, Staying Alive, as I was doing the compressions? Life has a funny way of teaching you a lesson. 10 years later, I went to visit my dad like I did every Sunday to watch movies and dance like the good old days, but instead I saw my father collapse on the living room floor. My fear was at a 10. And I thought to myself, oh no, not again. His eyes were bulging and he was barely breathing. I called 911 and told them the reason. I closed my eyes and started the compressions, fought through all my inner repressions, and with every ounce of me, I began to seem terrified, but repeatedly, whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, we're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking and we're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. And I said it repeatedly, over and over again. Through panic, fear, and hands shaking, I refused to let my eyes open. Then I heard some coughs. And to my surprise, I looked at my father, y'all, and he was alive. He was alive. He was alive. He is now alive.
Amen.
Fact. Till this day, my father and I still watch Saturday Night Fever. But now it means so much more. It's not only our favorite memories, it's now our story, our testimony, our celebration, our heartbeat to us together, staying alive.
My name is Ephraim Nehemiah. I am a teaching artist. I am a published writer. I'm an educator, a nationally touring performer, but education is one of the biggest passions in my life. Art has literally kept me alive. And I grew up in a household where there wasn't a whole lot of expression. Seen and not heard, stayed in a child's place, wasn't allowed to express all the things that I wanted to, right? And so growing up, Apathy became one of my first languages. And it wasn't until I was in 12th grade, my English teacher had us write a poem every day before class. And this was my first time really being able to see my emotions out loud. Really being able to feel all the feelings I had as opposed to just stuffing it down. And this has such a huge impact on the rest of my life, both for my self-awareness, but also for the awareness of others. And I'm so appreciative for art because there are so many conversations where our doubt, our judgments, our insecurities, our own individual paths get in the way of us being able to understand others. And art has a way of continually bridging that gap. So I was grateful to have this opportunity to be able to write this poem about this important topic. So I hope that we can all listen with an open heart and an open mind. Box breathing is a technique. It's based in ancient Indian breath work to reduce stress. It involves inhaling for 4 seconds, holding your breath for 4 seconds, and exhaling for 4 seconds. So everyone on the count of 4, if you please try it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Hold. breathe out. Traditionally, you would do this 4 times whenever you want to feel relaxed. The only time I truly don't take breathing for granted is when I'm sick. You know, when your nose is all stuffed up and you're praying for healing quick. And in those moments, I'll give anything to be able to inhale deep and just relax. And I know y'all know, because it might be someone in here that didn't breathe in because they didn't want no neighbor to know they was congested. See, this exercise helps every time, and I just realizing how I'm breathing normal the rest of the time, and like all things taken for granted, I forget how grateful I am once I start breathing again. And I know not everyone is afforded this same kind of luxury. Cardiac arrest is what happens when a heart forgets its purpose, betrays the body, suddenly stops beating. The lack of blood can cause a loss of consciousness. If this happens long enough, the person can die. I remember the first time this happened to someone I know. He was only 20 years old. Collapsed at the rec center and no one could understand what was going on, but that night we were reminded how quickly a life can fade away when the heart loses faith. Every single day we take around 22,000 breaths, and that's the same number of unhospitalized children who experience cardiac arrest. Each breath you take today is a life that maybe could have been saved. On the count of 4, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Cardiac emergency response plan is what happens when a community cares enough to turn a bystander into a lifesaver. Gives us the tools to be a good Samaritan in a heart that wants us selfish Americans. So when danger comes and help is needed, first responders come running but can't always come quick enough. When the suffering can't make it to the hospital, we step in so the body doesn't have to make it to the morgue. We may not wear white coats at night, but you don't have to be a first responder to save a life. So when the ETA of the EMT is way too far, we use CPR so they won't be DOA when they reach the ER. This is what happens, so they never have to see a coroner. Funny how an acronym can make a phrase shorter, but make a life longer. On the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Most of the time, breathing is something we do without thinking. And I hope helping another can become the same way. Hope schools and buildings make themselves a safe haven. Hope when the walls talk, they speak of a better tomorrow. Hope when we hear less about the hearts that were halted and more about the heroes who saved them. I know we can't promise everyone will be saved, but if we can make a change in even one heart, that's gotta be enough to try. If we can help save one life, that's gotta be enough to go. If even the only thing we have right now is hope, that's got to be enough to make a difference. So on the count of 4, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. And this time, we won't take the breath for granted. Thank you.
Definitely keep it clapping. Ephraim Nehemiah. Thank you for having me come right after him. My name is Miko Reed, and I am also a 4-time author, and poet, spoken word artist. I am a professional HR in the daytime, and at night in the evenings, I spend my time momming and going around to venues, and I'm also the co-host of Legendary Spit That at Woolly Mammoth Theater. A lot of my work has been around cancer first, right? I lost my dad to cancer in 2021, and ever since then, I have just been avidly working in that field. And I am the standing poet for the American Cancer Society, for the DC Making Strides on the Potomac. I do that twice a year, so if you've been there, you may have seen me. And now heart. My grandmother, she had a heart attack maybe a decade or so ago. So when I got this call from Christoph, I'm like, wow, yeah, because she's 94 now, right? So she's still here. But yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get into, it's kind of more like a story time, right? So shift your head from the cadence and come here to me. The name of this piece is called Boom Boom. Let me get a little water for the boom boom. Leaning against the door, he yelled, "Nurse," between shallow breaths, of course, "I don't want to meet my maker tonight." As he held his right hand over his heart, skin rich as chocolate souffle, eyes glossy, likely from the news that he'd heard earlier that day. 21-year-old me stood frozen on the sidelines as the outgoing nurse darted her indigo eyes my way. She turned back, looked at the patient and told him that I would be his nurse for the night. She proceeded to grab her green bag with her white hands, leaving me to convince the difficult black patient, as the end of the shift report said, leaving me to convince him that he was not having a heart attack. As he slid slowly to the floor, the nurse yelled out, "He's fine. He does this for attention. You're in training. You'll see." And she closed the doors behind her. The charge nurse said at the station. She nodded in agreement. We locked eyes. I shook my head, heard my grandmother's voice, disparities, 21-year-old me, just 3 months from Army medic training, just 3 months into nursing school. I turned and looked at the patient. His souffle skin flat, his fingertips blue from grasping his chest. "You!" I pointed towards the charge nurse. "You call 911 in return." Boom, 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 boom. It's all racing, my underarms soaking through my army scrubs. It's all coming back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could hear my grandma. No blood, no oxygen, no life. My grandmother was a registered nurse, y'all. And every time she came home from work, she would place her purse in the middle of a white lace doily on the left side of the brown coffee table, next to her favorite stained glass curio cabinet that we better not touch. I was about 7 or 8 years old and put the small gumdrop shaped things in my ears. Then I placed it on my heart of my doll baby. It was a Cabbage Patch Kid. I'm telling y'all my age now, okay? So I would place it over my Cabbage Patch Kid's heart and try to listen for a beat. I would tell my grandmother I couldn't hear a thing. She'd take the stethoscope off of my doll baby and place it on my heart. That is when I heard my life's purpose beating through my chest. Boom, 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 boom. Grandma would explain to me why the heart was the most powerful organ in my body. She'd say, "Honey, no blood, no oxygen, no life." Told me stories of people that died because of the color of their skin. Said simple CPR probably could have saved their life. My grandma, her skin rich as chocolate souffle. She told me stories I couldn't really grasp at the tender age of 7. And it didn't really make sense to me. Because if the heart was the same for everyone on the inside, why did it matter? I later learned that Black and Hispanic adults are less likely to receive potentially life-saving CPR assistance, especially in public places. All I know is Grandma said, without the heart, everything dies. And statistically, Black and Latino people are 30 to 50% less likely to have CPR performed by someone nearby. No blood, no oxygen, no life. Back in Grandma's day, and even for some communities today, access to resources is limited. Opportunities to learn in certain wards scarce. Schools devoid of knowledge, disparities. Some schools without nurses, disparities. No working defibrillators, disparities. The color of my patient's skin, disparities. Gatekeeping information, y'all, disparities. Look at your neighbor right now and say no more.
No more.
Disparities.
Disparities.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, me, 21, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, had my own stethoscope with gumdrop-shaped ends to place in my ears as I jumped into action and went from new nurse to lifesaver. So when he said I did not want to meet my maker tonight, I I made sure they didn't. And Grandma was very proud. I didn't preface that I am a retired Army vet, medic, licensed nurse, master sergeant. So I didn't want to say that in the beginning because, but yeah, thank you guys.
Hello, there we go, had my own mic. How y'all doing? Clap it up for all our poets. I have no idea why they make me go last in these things. If you ask me, it's because... Anyway, didn't have a reason. So everybody's doing brief introductions. My name is Jacob Mayberry. In spoken word, I go by Black Chakra. I have a very long resume of victories and wins in poetry competitions, which is way too long to list for y'all, but I'll try. No, seriously though. What that means is that I've gone into spaces and I've used my art to bring power to my voice and bring power and a voice to situations and other people's situations that often don't have a voice. I'm not just a poet, I'm an artivist. I believe that poetry should be used as a tool in revolution, in education, in edutainment, as a way to enlighten our people. Something about us, when the rhythm is attached to it, we learn it better. Yeah. So instead of writing films, I wrote poems, even though I'm a cinephile. That's the thing about me too. I also like pina colada. Getting caught in the rain.
Yes, yes.
I'm not in the yoga. I'm in the champagne. Anyway, it's not my poem. Still gonna tell you those things about me since I have time. Y'all gotta start giving me a microphone. Anyway, so, my poem isn't about those things. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
My poem is about something that everybody in this room has been through. Heartbreak. Because I know heartbreak. Known it my whole life. Many of my friends have experienced it. A type of delirious meant to knock a man off his feet. Back in high school, a kid I knew was playing basketball with his friends one weekend and his heart broke. Right there on the court. In my family, heartbreak happens in a hereditary fashion. When obesity knows you like a lover, knows that heartbreak can hold you in place, knows that African Americans suffer from heart disease more than any other race. What a breath of fresh air it is to know that you can resuscitate, to pull a soul back as it suffocates. I sat in class learning CPR and couldn't figure out why they waited until my senior year to teach it. It's why I feared swimming, because no one you're around can save you if you drown. Why did I think God took people from me when he actually put saving them in my hands? I'm heartbroken, knowing that in a neighborhood where the police don't come, we can depend on ourselves to save our sons. We can be certified, even if not official. It's no coincidence that Street and Saint have the same initials. When another brother ODs or ceases to breathe, we can be there. 2 hands centered over chest, here to take the cuffs off of cardiac arrest, elbows locked, working to beat death before the breathing stops. It's up to us to make sure we have a chance when half your block won't call for help because they can't afford the ambulance.
All right, come on.
So they live. And they live. But how many didn't? How many couldn't be saved if society didn't make better decisions? Maybe my brother could have been saved. Maybe my uncle could have been saved. Maybe the children could save themselves if they learned CPR from the start. Because knowing all these people could have been saved if I knew CPR, but I didn't. That just breaks my heart.
My name is Erica Thomas. I go by Rare Jewel. I'm a multifaceted Rare Jewel. So by day, I am a doctor of public health candidate who will be defending. I just left University of Maryland. I'm there doing a conference, and I told them I had a previous engagement, which is right here. The founder and CEO of Rare Jewel Enterprises. And I am Rare Jewel. I energize, electrify, and elevate any message or mission because poetry is a very creative and effective way to deliver any message. I am an international keynote poet. I have performed at Sandals on a private island for several couples there. And I am also the founder and executive director of a nonprofit organization called Adulting to Greatness. So, by day also, I am the director of strategic planning and a program manager for the Medical Reserve Corps, Critical Infrastructure Protection, and Office of Planning. So, as we are talking about emergency management and emergency planning, I said, oh, this is right up my alley. And so, how do we now connect and take this scientific information and something that can be overwhelming and make it so that anyone can do it? All right? So I call this inhale, exhale, breathe. And I need all of you all to participate with me. So after I say inhale, exhale, I want you all to say breathe. All right? Inhale, exhale, breathe. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Inhale, exhale, breathe. 2 lungs, 1 heart. To pump blood, to carry oxygen from every organ and the brain with every heartbeat. Blood flows through the heart and back again, washing it fresh with oxygen so that the lungs can rinse and repeat. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Picture this. I'm walking with you, beside you, and we're headed to an event. We're laughing and catching up on all the things that we missed. And suddenly, something's not right, totally amiss. Chest hurt, breathing shallow, I collapse. I can no longer inhale, exhale, breathe. I can no longer inhale, exhale, breathe. On the floor, breathing no more. I need you to act quick. Call 911, start CPR, hands only. Please, please, please. I need you to restart my heart. I believe in you. You can do it. 2 hands joined together like a fist. Your hands compressing to the pace of staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. You are my blessing. Keep going. You're keeping my oxygen flowing. You're doubling my rate of survival of cardiac arrest by giving me CPR before the first responders arrive. You, my friend, are the difference between life and death. They're giving me CPR. You're saving my life and keeping me from taking my last breath. Finally, I can inhale, exhale, breathe. Thank you.